Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome back, dear brothers and sisters. I welcome you all to class number 48, where we are inshallah learning about numbers, how they are constructed and how they are written inshallah. So let's quickly enter our class. So regarding numbers, I'm just going to give you a quick revision so that everybody is on board. So we know there are two things come together when we are talking about numbers and the objects. The adad means is the number, and the object which is counted is ma'dud. And the special characteristics of the Arabic numbers is that the ma'dud will keep changing depending on what number comes in front of them. So we know now that 1 and 2, the ma'dud comes as man'ud and the number comes as a na'at. And we know from 3 to 10, the combination of ma'dud and adad is mudaf, mudaf ilayhi, where the thing which is counted is mudaf and the number comes as a mudaf ilayhi. And we know from 11 to 99, the ma'dud comes as a tam'iz. So another characteristic from 3 to 10 is that the ma'dud is always the thing which is counted is mentioned in jam'u, whereas from 11 to 99, the ma'dud comes as a mufrad and it will have a mansoob, double tanween fatha. So today inshallah we're going to learn from 100 to 1000 to a million inshallah. So what we need to understand is the relationship between adad and ma'dud and how each one are written and how they are connected to each other inshallah. So 100 in Arabic is written as mi'atun or mi'atun. I mean, if you see here in the first one where there is alif after the meme, it is only written but it's not pronounced, which is the most common way. And the ma'dud, the thing which is counted, it will come afterwards and it is a mufrad and it is majroor. That's the difference here. Whereas from 11 to 99, we know it is tam'iz, which will have a mufrad but it will have a mansoob, the double tanween fatha. And from 100 to 1000, the ma'dud will have a kasra and it will be indefinite. So for example, we say miyatu talibin wa talibatin. And another important thing about 100 is that whether it is a ma'dud is mudhakkar or muannas, the things will remain same. It will be still use mi'atun. So mi'atun is ending with tha marbuta, but even though it's ending with ta marbuta, it is used for both mudhakkar and muannas nouns. So if you just give some practice like mi'atu talibin is 100 students. If you want to say 101 students, there are two ways where we can say either mi'atun wa wahidun talibin or mi'atu talibin wa talibun. So 100 students and one student. And mi'atun talibun wa talibani, 102 students. So when it comes to 103, so we know 100 it's not going to change, but when number 3 comes after 100, then that will have the gender specification, that is the opposite genders. So for the mudhakkar noun we'll have thalathatu, and for the muannas noun we have mi'atun wa thalathu talibatin. So ma'dud will be indefinite majroor form. So mi'atun wa arba'atu talibin, 104 students, male students. Mi'atun wa arba'u talibatin, 104 female students. The same thing we have mi'atun wa khamsatu talibin, mi'atun wa khamsu talibatin. So this is what we need to understand, that mi'atun will remain same for talibin and talibatin. This is mudhakkar and muannas, and any number after mi'atin like thalathatu arba'atu, and that will have its own effect. That means a mudhakkar will have a muannas number and a muannas will have a mudhakkar number. So this we need to remember inshallah. So coming to 200, the duals, they always have their own rules. This is what we need to remember, that the whether coming to 2 or 22 and 200, 2000. So they will have their own kind of constructions which we need to understand inshallah again. So mi'atani means 200, but if we are saying on its own we will say mi'atani. But if you are bringing a ma'adud after that or any other word coming immediately after that without any ataf, then what happens is the noon gets dropped. The noon gets dropped. So we are saying mi'ata talibin, 200 students. So if you want to say 300 students, so again here the slight change occurs here. So as we said, the mi'atun, because it's a muannas word, when we bring a number in front of it, for example 300. So previously we learned 103, whereas 3 coming afterwards will have the gender effect, whereas the number comes before the 100, mi'atun, then the way it is written is different. And what will happen is, because mi'atun is a muannas number, the number 3 will have a mudhakkar, so it will be thalathu mi'ati طالب. So we know thalathu is mudaf, mudaf ilayhi mi'ati, wa huwa mudaf, and talibin is mudaf ilayhi. So that is the whole combination here. But however, the way it is written, these two words are combined together from thalathu mi'atin, 300. The way they're written is thalathu mi'atin. So they are combined, they're joined together. So if it is 400, it will be arba'u mi'ati talibin. Khamsu mi'ati. If it is only you're telling 400, we say khamsu mi'atin. But if you're bringing another noun in front of it, then it will become khamsu mi'ati talibin or khamsu mi'ati talibatin. So sittu mi'ati talibin wa talibatin. So 700 will be sab'u mi'atin and 800 will be thamani mi'atin. So why we have thamaniyat in different color is, normally thamaniya will have is ending with ya, but when we are joining the number which is ending with ya, which is thamaniya, the ya is dropped here. That's why we have thamani mi'ati talibins, 800, and we have tis'u mi'ati, which is 900, and then we have 1000, which is alf talibin, 1000. 1000 is alf, and again the 1000 will have the ma'dud, which will be ending with kasra. So like 100, miyatun, it is same for both mudhakkar and muannas, and 1000 will also have the same. It will not change whether it is the noun which is being counted as mudhakkar or muannas. So 1000 students, male or female, and then again we have 2000 on its own will be alfani, which is alif and noon. And if you are bringing another noun after alfani, the noon gets dropped, and what we have is alfa talibin. So this alif, will know this alif musanna, which tells us that it is 2000 students. And we know when 3 comes, the things slightly change. Now because alf is a mudhakkar word, there is no ta marbuta. So when we are bringing thalasu in front of it, 3000. So what will happen is we will bring a muannas, will be thalathatu alafin. So the difference here when compared to 100 is that if we notice here, what we have thalathu, that is the mudhakkar word, and mi'ati is still a singular 100. So 300, it is a singular 100, whereas thalathatu alafi, so alafi is plural of alf, thousands. So that's another difference how we use hundreds and thousands. So if you are telling thousands, you bring a plural form of thousand, which is alaf. So thalathatu with ta marbuta, alafi plural, and talibin, the ma'dud will remain same. So that's the difference. So if we say arba'atu alafi talibin, 4000 students, male or female, but if you just see how it is written in the hundreds, it will be arba'u mi'ati, 400 students, and 4000, there's slight difference, so we have to keep in mind. So again 5 100 students will be khamsatu alafi talibin, and sittatu alafi is 6,000 students. 7,000 will be sab'atu alafin thamaniyatu, because here the ya is not on its own, we have ta marbuta attached, so this ya will remain within thamaniya, whereas in the 800, because the ya was on its own thamaniya and the word coming after it, the ya gets dropped, so that's why we have thamani mi'ati. So whereas here thamaniyatu is a muannas word, so the ya is retained in the thamaniya. 9,000 is tis'atu alafin, and 10,000 will be ashratu alafi talibin. So up to 10,000, what we have is that the word alf will be used in plurals more than two, but after 10,000, what will happen is that the singular mansoob form of 1,000 will be used. So in uqoods, so how do we, for example, uqood is ishroon, and the numbers which will have a pattern of jama mudhakkar salim. So if you want to say 20,000, you say ishroona alfa talibin. So here we don't say more than 10,000, ishroona alafin, it will be, instead of alafin, it will be alfa. So ishroona alfa talibin, mansoob, mudaf, and thalathuna, 30,000. So arba'una alfa talibin, 40,000. Khamsuna alfa talibin, 50,000. So again, so if you want to say it's similarly, if we keep going on to 70, 80, 90, and then come to 100,000, so 100,000, how do we do it? So mi'atu alfi, because 100,000 is a combination of mudaf ilayhi. So again the signs change and the talibin will remain talibin. So mi'ata alfi, 200,000 students. So 300, so we write in the normal fashion. Thalathu mi'a, we know 300. 1,000 will be 1,000. Alfi, the singular form, will be written. So more than 100,000. We know it. The alf will be saying it's not alafin. So 300,000. Arba'umi'ati alfi talibin, 400, and so on and so forth. It goes to 500,000, 600,000, 700,000. Sab'umi'ati alfi talibin, thamani mi'ati alfi talibin, tis'umi'ati alfi talibin, and after 900,000, what we'll have is a million. So it is 1 million. So million means 1 million on its own, and 2 millions will be the dual forms, which will be milyunani. So alif and noon is added for 2 million. And again, like alafin, so from number 3, so million will use a plural form, which will be thalathatu malayinu. So we know why we are using thalathatu, because million is a muzakkar word, so we'll bring a number 3, so we'll have a muannas word, thalathatu malayun. So that is how the numbers are constructed. Sometimes it can be confusing with especially with the ma'dood and the couples like 22, 23, 101, 102, or 300, 400. So we need to practice and learn, inshallah. So let's go have a quick recap. So the numbers in Arabic, they are grouped together, and those groups will have their own set of rules. So let's quickly go again with them, and what will happen is the adad and ma'dud we need to understand. So first group will be 1 and 2. So we know here it is comes in naat and man'ud, so everything will match for 1 and 2. And second group what we have is 3 and 10, where ma'dud is jam'u and it is mudaf ilayhi, always have a kasra. And from 3 the genders will change. For the mudhakkar noun will be muannas number, and muannas noun will be mudhakkar number. And we know 11 to 12, so they will be mabni. And however, the 1 and 2 they will change for they will have a nath man'ud, they will match the muzakkar. Muzakkar will have everything muzakkar and muannas will have everything muannas, like ahada ashara and ihda ashrata. And 13 to 19, depending on thing which is being counted, the number 3 will have whether it is muzakkar or muannas forms is used depending on the ma'dud. Khamsata ashara riyalan, or we can say khamsa ashara talibatan. So they all will have fatha fatha and they'll be mabni. So no matter whether they are marfu, mansub or majroor, they will have fatha fatha fatha, except the number 18, which we're going to learn in a minute, inshallah. So, and then the next group what we have is the uqud, so which means they are in the pattern of jama muzakkar salim, like 20, 30, 40, and they will remain same whether the ma'dud is mudakkar or muannas. They're not going to change, and they will decline as jama mudakkar salim, like una and ina. And from 21 to 22, again we have these couple coming together, 31 to 32, 41 to 42, where again they will have a nath man'ud, everything will match. And from 23 to 29, 33 to 39, and they will again depending on which noun is coming, which noun is being counted, that from number 3 the genders will switch. So we need to keep in mind, inshallah. And we know 100 to 900, so the mi'atun will remain same depending no matter which noun is being counted, whether muzakkar or muannas. And same thing for 1000 and 10,000, where the ma'dud is singular and it is having kasra, indefinite. And from 11 to 99 it is tam'iz, which is having a mansoob, and 3 to 10 will be mudaf ilayhi, and 1 to 2 will be nath man'ud. So those are the concepts which we need to remember. So if we just give you quick examples about the i'rab, the way the numbers will decline, so that will give us a good understanding, inshallah. So if we quickly go through the groups there, if we give examples for 1 and 2, so if we say indi riyalun wahidun, so I have 1 riyal, or you can say indi riyalani ithnani, I have 2 riyals. But it is a marfu form, riyalun wahidun, riyalani ithnani. We know the sign of marfu is al alifu li'annahu musanna. So if you want to say mansoob, say uridu riyalan wahidan, I want 1 riyal. Or we say uridu riyalaini. So we know duels, they have ani and aini. So ya represents mansoob form li'annahu musanna here. Uridu riyalaini ithnaini. So we say hada al-qalamu, this pen, biriyalin wahidin, this pen is for 1 riyal. And again same example, hada al-qalamu biriyalaini ithnaini. So this is how they decline depending on the situation. So again let's give some example for 3 to 10. So we say indi khamsatu riyalatin. See, khamsatu riyalun is mudakkar, sorry, muannas noun. So what we do is we bring a mudakkar number, muannas number. It is confusing. So عندي خمسة ريالات, أريد خمسة ريالات, and هذا القلم بخمسة ريالات. So if you see, the numbers will decline, marfu, mansub and majroor. And 11 to 12, so we know, so everything will match. Ithnata, so we know ithnathani because the noun is coming immediately after it, so the noon is dropped. So ithnata ashra talibatan, or it will be ithna ashara taliban. So even though when we said 11 to 19 is mabni, the 12, because it's got a dual number, ithnatha or ithna, they will decline. Just for giving you example, so indi ithnatha ashrata rubiyatan, so I have 12 rupees. So if you see, ithnatha is marfu because the sign of alamatu raf'ihi al alifu li'annahu muthanna. So if you want to say uridu, I want, ithnathay, see, ithnathaini will become ithnathay عشرة روبية. So I want 12 rupees. So or you say هذا القلم باثنتي عشرة روبية. This pen is for 12 rupees. So if you see, the alif is sign of marfu and ya is the sign of mansub and majrur. So this is decline, and rest of the numbers from 11 to 19 will remain mabni. So if you see the muzakkar, so عندي اثنا عشر ريالا. So I have 12 riyals and أريد اثني عشر ريالا, or I say هذا القلم باثني عشر ريالا. So this is the examples for how they decline. So if you bring some examples from 13 to 19, so if you see how does it work, so everything remains fatha fatha fatha, and depending on the noun which is being counted, the first number will have a different gender. So عندي خمسة عشر ريالا, أريد خمسة عشر ريالا, and هذا القلم بخمسة عشر ريالا. See if here خمسة خمسة خمسة, it doesn't change, it doesn't become خمسة عشرة or خمسة عشرة and خمسة عشرة. It will remain خمسة all the way wrong, which is ثلاثة عشرة, أربعة عشرة. So whatever from 13 to 19. So except 12, everything remains mabni. So if we bring the uqud, so we know uqud, which is 20, 30, and the pattern of Jama Mudhakkar Salim up to 90. So they will decline like a Jama Mudhakkar Salim, like عندك ستون ريالا, do you have 60 riyals? Or if you say أريد ستين, so I want ستين. So ستين is here اسم منصوب علامة نصبه الياء لأنه جمع مذكر سالم. So أريد ستين ريالا, or هذا الكتاب بستين, so جار مجرور, so ستين ريالا. So how this is how they decline. So again we come to the groups from 21 to 22, and from 23 to 29. So what will happen is they will decline in a normal way. For example, عندي, I have واحد وعشرون ريالا. So the thing to notice is واحد وعشرون, so it is a combined together. This wow is ataf and عشرون is معطوف على واحد. If واحد or the number 1 or 2, 3 decline, everything else will also decline. For example, أريد ثلاثة وعشرين ريالا. So I want 23 riyals. or هذا القلم بأربعة وعشرين ريالا. So this pen is for 24 riyals. So if you see both أربعة وعشرين, the both will decline together. Whereas in 11 and 12, whereas especially in 12, only the dual form will decline. اثني, اثنا, and اثنين. Whereas here ثلاثة وعشرين, so everything will decline. So we need to remember, inshallah. So some examples of 100, 200 and 1000 we know here, they decline normally. For examples, murattabuhu, murattabu means salary, so his salary is alfu dolarin, is $1000. So akhastu, I took what? Alpha is your maf'ulun bihi, and now it is a number and it will have its own rule. It will have a dolarin, a single indefinite majroor noun coming as a ma'dud. So I took 1000 riyals minhu, from him. Ishtaraytuhu, I brought it. So again here bi alfi dolarin. So b is harf jar and ism majroor is alfi. So you see alfu, alfa and alfi, it will decline normally. So ishtaraytuhu bi alfi dolarin. So coming to 200 or 2000, again because it's a dual, so it will have the same ani and aini rule coming here, where the noon is dropped if a noun coming after it. So for example, ujratuhu, his wages. Ujra means wages. Alfa riyalin, so this alif muthanna, so we know it is 2000 riyals. Ma yuridu alfai riyalan, he does not want. See, ma yuridu alfai riyalan, does not want 2000 riyal. Ya'malu, he works بألفي ريال, for $2,000. So this is what we need to understand for jewels. They decline in a different way. So from 300 to 900, so what we have is a combination, the way it is written, and that combination, the first part is a mudaf, and we know the mudaf will decline, and mudaf ilayhi is always majrur, so it doesn't change. So if you see here, in the thalathu mi'ati riyalin, so thalathu is your mudaf, mi'ati is mudaf ilayhi, wa huwa mudaf, and riyalin is mudaf ilayhi. So uridu thalatha mi'ati, thalatha is your mudaf, which will have mafulun bihi, wa huwa mudaf, and mudaf ilayhi is mi'ati. So it's not thalatha mi'ata, thalatha mi'ati. Ishtaraytuhu, I brought it, bi thalathi mi'ati. So only the first part will is mu'arab, and this combination is mudaf, mudaf ilayhi. So if you bring example of thousands, so we know from 3000 there's a plural form of thousands is used, and more than 10,000 again singular form. Just to give example here, thalathatu alafi riyalin, sittata ashara alfa riyalin, or thalathuna alfa riyalin. So that's the examples here. So let's practice writing some number. So Dr. Abdul Rahim brings this number 6543, which is 6543, and depending on what is being counted, whether it is mudhakkar noun or muannas noun, so we see how it is written. So first of all, we have to understand which in this number, which are the numbers which are affected by the noun, which will change their gender depending on what is being counted. So we know alpha, thousands, here which is 6000, it does not change whether it is mudhakkar or muannas, so it will remain alf, and because it is plural, it will be alaf. So 500, mi'atun, it will remain same whether it is muannas or mudhakkar, so that will not change. And 40, it is from the uqud, which is in the pattern of jama mudhakkar salim, which will remain again same for both mudhakkar and muannas. And 3, we know for 3 it will change, so the mudhakkar ma'dud will have a muannas number. So we need to start from the units. So how do we so? So we know it is a mudhakkar ma'dud, so we'll bring muannas number, which is thalathatun. So if you have a muannas noun to be counted, so we'll have a mudhakkar noun. So for example, now for the first one, thalathatun, that is 3, and 40. The next what we'll bring is the tens, which is the 40 here. So wa arba'una. And next we'll bring 100. So what 100 is? 500. Wa khamsu mi'atin. Wa khamsu mi'atin. This will not change whether it is mudhakkar or muannas. And we know sittatu alafin. So this will not change whatever which is being counted. So this is how 6543 riyalin is written in the word form. So if it is a muannas noun, it's like rubiyatin, so we'll say thalathu. So 3 will have a mudhakkar number, thalathun wa arba'una wa khamsu mi'atin wa sittatu alafi rubiyatin. So this is how a different type of constructions are used for units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. And alhamdulillah, so we should be able to understand and able to conjugate the numbers in its proper form and sense. That brings to end of our class now. So inshallah, we're going to start a new concept in the next class. So until then, keep writing, keep practicing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.